What makes a classic action movie? If you ask me, a classic movie can stand the test of time. So you could watch a movie today and 10, 15 years from now, watch the same movie again and it'll still have the same impact on you as it did the first time you saw it. Now, here are like a couple of action movies that I saw as a kid and I haven't seen them in years. Sometimes I just forgot what the whole movie was about, but I saw it again and my opinion may have changed. Like Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Um, when I first saw this, I liked it. I loved it. And it's been years since I saw it. So um, I forgot everything that the movie was about. It's been years since I saw the first original three. But this is still good. And from what I heard about the new one, because I haven't seen the newest one, uh, it can't hold a candle to this. This movie, I used to love this movie. I remember the wax on, wax off. I remember him kicking all of his bullies' asses. I remember all of that shit. And just a good, good movie. But when I was buying it, I was skeptical because I thought it would suck now. It would be too cheesy and just like, like a lot of shows I used to love, like Family Matters and Full House and all that shit. When I watch it now, it's too cheesy and I'm like, what the fuck was I watching this shit for? But this movie still kicks ass. Ass kicking movie. This movie, I had all the toys, but I guess all the toys was from the third iteration of it. But First Blood, this movie was fucking great. Like when you watch this, I don't want to see any kind of a update or re-release of the movie because it was done right the first time. First Blood is fucking awesome. I remember being in love with this movie. And I watched it again recently, the original Lethal Weapon. And I was just unimpressed. I was like, why was I so in love with this movie? I don't know. It wasn't, it just seemed so cheesy and I just wasn't down with it. But for what it's worth, I used to love it. Not a classic. Keeping with cop movies, Robocop. This movie, I watched the cartoon. I had the toys. I had the little Robocop pop gun. I had everything that had to do with Robocop. I watched it again, and I must have not watched the first one because this had titties, swearing. I was like, whoa! But a lot of the little commentary, like on commercials and like the little ads for like hospitals and shit, that shit still applies to right now. I'm gonna say this is a classic, but as far as like if I wanted an update or like a new, a continuation of the story, I would like to see this movie updated because a lot of the special effects they tried to use, it just looks cheesy now. And I could do with that, Like I said, this is still a classic, but if they were gonna do an update, that would be nice. Like some better actors where where some of the actors were, it was just too cheesy for me. But this is still a classic. If you haven't seen it, the original RoboCop, go and get it, and you'll love it. And on to my favorite cop, John McClane, Die Hard, the original. Still good, still great. I mean, if you watch this, you will not be disappointed. The new Die Hard is good too, so if you haven't seen that, I would check it out too. But I strongly suggest you check out the original. This is where it all started. His bad acid tree all started. I don't want to see any updates. Just keep this the way it is. And if you want to release a new Die Hard, just continue on to the series, but don't redo this shit. This shit is classic. And finally, Batman. This is not fucking Val Kilmer or George Clooney's Batman. This is Michael Keaton and Tim Burton's Batman. Okay, this is the until I saw the Batman Begins movie. I was well prepared to say that this is the only person I want to see playing Batman, Michael Keaton, because I all that little cheesy shit in between the original Batmans and or not the original, but the original to me, you know, the Michael Keaton Batman, not Adam West and all that shit. Michael Keaton and you know, Christian Bale. In between them, it was all bullshit, and I didn't want to see any of those movies. If you ask me, there's only three Batmans: Batman Returns, Batman Begins, and it's about to be a fourth because I'm gonna check that out too. So, if you haven't seen this Batman, the one that came out in 1989, directed by Tim Burton, starring Michael Keaton, go and check it out. It's worth your money.